What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the 3829 podcast. If you don't know by now, I am your host, Trey. Now, today we will be going over too used to doing the WNBA content. Today we're going to be going over the NBA trade deadline, talk about who we think are some of the winners, losers, some deals that we agree with or don't agree with. But before we jump into it, make sure y'all hit that like, that comment, and that subscribe. And I'm going to let y'all holler at Ice one time.
Man, what is going on at this NBA trade deadline?
All right, y'all. So we're just gonna go ahead and jump straight into it. Now, to go ahead and start it off, we're gonna talk about some of the bigger deals that happened. Obviously, the biggest one that happened was that Garland traded for Harden. So Ice, I'm gonna let you go ahead and start us off. What do you think about this pickup for the Cavs as well as the Clippers?
Man, the Cavs ain't playing. You know what I'm saying? They mean business. Clearly they say, hey, we see, you know what I'm saying, they've been aggressive, this trade deadline, trading away DeAndre Hunter, making some real aggressive moves, some really aggressive pushes. They in their eyes, they see championship, and that's where they headed. The Clippers, well, they seem to be cleaning house, retooling, you know, adding some assets, looking towards the future,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I mean, yeah, wow, what a trade, right?
No, definitely. Now, for me personally, I've heard both sides of it. Now, when I first seen that this trade went through, I called Ice immediately. I'm like, what are the Clippers doing? Because I thought when I first seen the trade that the Cavs definitely won that trade, and I felt like the Clippers, they didn't necessarily make the best of move at the time of the trade. I didn't feel like Darius Garland by himself would be able to fill the hole that James Harden was leaving on that team. Obviously they ended up making some other moves that ended up help filling that hole that's going to be left. But I definitely think that the Cleveland Cavaliers had got some early hate about that trade that was not warranted. I believe that James Harden has showed since leaving Houston that he is able to play with other stars. I mean, Kawhi was I believe number 5 in usage for players that played over 1,000 minutes this season, and that was higher than Donovan Mitchell. For people that was saying that James Harden and Donovan Mitchell won't be able to play well together, I don't agree with that at all. I definitely think that they'll be able to be successful this season, and possibly or definitely I believe that they will be able to get further than they made it last postseason with the East being considered a little bit weaker this year, and they don't have to worry about running into the Pacers.
One thing you got to remember about Harden, and this is something that's kind of underrated about him, just because of his abilities on the court. Harden's not selfish.
Mm-mm.
We've seen time and time again that he is more than capable of working with other superstar players to figure out how to get the job done. I think Harden is in that stage in his career where he wants to win.
Yeah.
Right. He ain't really looking to play games. He doesn't care about the scoring average or the MVP. He's not looking at all that. He's just, trying to win games. And I mean, shoot, I can't say the Cavs made the absolute best decision, but it's the decision they made.
No,
So
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, realistically, do you think it would have been a better option to trade a Mobley or Jared Allen? Because we know Donovan Mitchell wasn't on the table. Honestly, I feel like they made the right move in who they picked to move. I feel like you run a risk of Evan Mobley taking another step if he goes elsewhere, and then you lose out on that. And then I just feel like Jared Allen has been very serviceable. You know what I'm saying? He's done what he's supposed to do to a T. You can't really ask more of Jared Allen.
Jared Allen is, yeah. I mean he's a great asset to that team for sure.
No, definitely. So I felt like it was Darius Garland that, had to inevitably go, especially with the injury history. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't available for them in the playoffs last year as much as they would have liked. He hasn't been available at the start of this year. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's
Well,
also something that definitely played into it.
Yeah, but I mean, staying with the Clippers, they move on from Zubac. Uh,
Yeah,
uh, just made a trade with the Pacers. They sent Zubac to the Pacers for 2026 protected
protected pick.
first round, a 2027 unprotected,
Hmm.
and a second rounder, along with Benedict Matherin and Isaiah Jackson. I'll let you go first on this one. I know you
Yeah,
got some stuff.
no, for sure. We can't skip out on the fact that we did also bring in Kobe Brown to the Pacers. He
Yeah,
was included in that trade, but the Pacers definitely had a big need for a center. We definitely know that. Obviously, Miles Turner isn't the greatest center in the league, but we did have a void there that needed to be filled. You know, rotating Jay Huff, Isaiah Jackson, and Tony Bradley, that's not a great center rotation at all. You get what I'm saying? Now, those guys can definitely be great second options, but as my starting center, I don't want any of those guys really being my starting center. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. And then honestly, only good thing I am happy about in this trade is that the Pacers were able to get rid of Isaiah Jackson. Uh Nothing against the man. It's just when you look at the guard, you get the rebound. You look at the guard. You and the guard look here, right? You wave off the guard and you go coast to coast and airball the layup, brother. You airball the layup.
man, he thought he was like Charles Barkley or Boogie Cousins or
I
something, man.
don't know who he thought he was, but he wasn't that. I'll let you know that right now. So yes, I'm glad that we got rid of Isaiah Jackson. Definitely will miss Benedict Matherin. I feel like the Pacers will regret trading Benedict Matherin, especially given 2 first-round picks with it. It was unnecessary. You're already giving up Matherin. Like I honestly have to know, like, what did they reject the first deal and that's what you countered with, or is that what was that your initial offer? Because that it just didn't make sense. And then you're risking this year's pick. Granted, they only get it if it falls 5 through 9. But with the Pacers draft lottery luck, if they're the worst team in the league, they can fall to 5, and that pick can fall to the Clippers. So I just don't agree with the move at all. You know, you were giving up an amazing asset in Benedict Matherin. We seen how impactful he can be. You get what I'm saying? Going into the league, I had him as my most improved player. I said it. I said he's going to win most improved this year. And now you've really given him an opportunity to do it. Now I'm not
Yeah,
sure if he's already missed too many games to qualify, but I feel like now trading him, you've really given him a chance to do it.
yeah. And I mean, man, I think back to back when the Pacers were competing against those Miami Heat teams when they traded away Danny Granger and brought in Evan Turner. It kind of gives me PTSD from them days because it's like Matherin may have been inconsistent. You know what I'm saying? He may have, you know what I'm saying, had some spots here and there, but overall, you know what I'm saying, he gave the team heart, right? And
1000%.
you can say TJ um is our heart guy, but man, it comes a point where Matherin and his mentality sometimes would just get us through those dry spots in games, and that's invaluable. You know what I'm
No,
saying? Where it's,
definitely.
man, look, I am not scared. I am coming out here to hoop. And that's what the Clippers are getting. So Clippers fans, uh appreciate them.
No,
You
for
know what
sure.
I'm saying?
For sure. I
You
mean,
have,
what
first
was you
you
saying?
you I was saying no, they've got a hell of a player, right?
No, for sure.
Even if you think the numbers don't show it, uh, trust me, he could do way more than the numbers show.
No, exactly. And he can give you numbers as well. I mean, but like you said, even what the numbers don't show, if you watched, the him in the Cleveland series, how impactful he was. You get what I'm saying? Not even on the offensive side of the ball, but this man can make some extremely athletic plays at the rim on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, I yes, there are certain aspects, especially that aren't necessarily putting the ball in the hole that he can improve. He definitely can improve in some of the attitude areas, but at the same time, those same attitude problems that most teams would see as a bad thing, those can sometimes be the greatest asset for Ben Matherin.
No, absolutely. And then, with the Pacers gambling on this year's pick, it's like, come on, man, what are we doing?
No,
Matherin
seriously.
by himself can turn a team around, and you're going to add 2 first-round picks to that. Have we lost our everlasting minds? You
No,
know,
for real. For real. Now, now considering both trades, do you think the Clippers got better?
I mean, the Clippers definitely got some tools to play with. That's for sure.
No, they did for sure.
They got some young guys on the team that can be looked at as valuable, trade pieces if nothing else, guys that's capable of, what I'm saying, getting those 20 a game. Now they may not have, what I'm saying, a necessarily team cohesiveness, but Garland, Matherin, those guys, I mean, those are the type of guys where they gel well. If they gel well together, they can make some things happen for sure.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And then the last major deal that we wanted to talk about, the last individual deal that we want, or I guess we could talk about two more. First one I
Let me
want
see
to talk
what
about
you.
is Jaren Jackson getting traded to the Utah Jazz and Memphis getting back players, but then also getting back 3 first-round picks. That is ridiculous in this day and age. Getting 3 first-round picks for Jaren Jackson when Luka was only traded for 1 pick. Like it's crazy. I didn't even see, like, if I felt honestly that if Giannis was traded this offseason, that the Bucks would have had a hard time. I mean, during this trade deadline, that the Bucks would have had a hard time getting 3 picks for him. You know what I'm saying? Like that, the max they probably would have been able to get is 4. So like for 4 picks for Giannis, 3 picks for Jaren, it just didn't. I felt like max 2. You get what I'm saying? Max 2.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, man. I mean, if we're talking about 2022, maybe, right? Ceiling high, you know, potential radar high. You know what I'm saying? But man, he just seems, what I'm saying, a lot more lazier on the court these days, right? The dude is definitely talented, but what I'm saying, he just has not been translating that on the court to production. And I can't see myself giving up 3 first-round picks for a guy like that. It's a lot less about the talent and a lot less about work ethic, you know.
Let me
And
take a quick pause real quick. All right, and the last deal we wanted to talk about, or the last individual deal we wanted to talk about, is gonna be this Vucevic trade for Anthony Simons. Definitely believe that Boston surprised a lot of people this year. Now, I am on record saying, watch out for Jaylen Brown this year. I am on record saying it. I said it when we did our NBA predictions. I said, don't sleep on Jaylen Brown for MVP. Now, do I think he's going to win MVP? No, but I did call out the fact that he would be balling this season. I feel like I predicted that. But with, their unexpected success in most people's eyes, they did end up taking a shot, bringing in Vucevic. Most people believe that he's going to play like Al Horford did for them, or, possibly similar to a Porzingis, not exactly fitting that, but playing more outside ball to allow for some floor spacing. So what's your take on it?
man, that is an absolute steal.
Nah,
I mean,
seriously.
golly, the Celtics are still fleecing in 2026. No Danny Ainge.
No
How are
Danny
they getting?
Ainge.
I mean, excuse my language. How are they getting away with this?
Danny Ainge just got fleeced in Utah. Giving up 3 first. He should know better.
Seriously, I'm serious. How do the Celtics keep getting away with this type of stuff, man?
Nah, for real.
They keep fleecing teams left and right.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say it was a fleece because the Bulls definitely made a lot of moves this during this trade deadline to I feel like get more dynamic players that could put the ball in them holes themselves versus really relying on the system. Uh, so I wouldn't necessarily say that the Bulls got fleeced. I feel like, this is just a move that benefited both teams in different ways. You get what I'm saying?
Get you, but boy, the Celtics hit big.
No, for
And
sure.
you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't know, but I was a Damian Lillard fan I still am. You know what I'm saying, but I was a Dame Lillard fan for a minute. And you know what I'm saying, when Portland drafted, you know what I'm saying, Anthony Simons, I kind of paid attention to him because, I was watching the Blazers around that time. And, you know what I'm saying, I took a liking to him and Gary Trent, you know, Gary Trent Jr. around that time. So, I kind of look at, you know what I'm saying, those old Blazer guards or whatever like that. And I love Simons. I love, you know what I'm saying, his game. I know it's kind of smooth. He can, go off 6 man of the year type player.
Mm-hmm.
But man, getting Vucevic opens up a lot of things for the Celtics. They were lacking in the big man department. I mean, well, you can't get much better than that.
No,
So
with this move, when Tatum comes back, right? When the Boston is full strength and when Indiana is full strength, do you think the Pacers will be able to stand a chance?
I mean, I'm going to always get a Pacers a chance, but dang,
No,
man,
yeah,
like,
it's definitely, especially getting rid of a guy like Matherin.
yeah, getting rid of Matherin, and that was the key right there.
No, seriously, because he would
Like,
be so important in a Celtics series.
yeah, yeah, and it's like I don't see how they replace that. You know what I'm saying?
You can't unless they get something in the draft this year. You know, it depends on how they draft goes. That'll really set that in stone for sure. But as it currently stands, a guy like Matherin would be a crucial piece to have in a. And my thing is, I don't. So I'll be honest. I haven't checked to see what the upcoming free agency class is. But like, did they not feel like they could get somebody in free agency to fill the void versus giving up Matherin? Now I understand. We definitely it. Eventually, somebody would have had to get picked. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, it would have never been Nimhart. But eventually somebody would have had to get moved, bringing in, another talent this offseason through the draft. Somebody would have had to go. You get what I'm saying? I would have much rather it not have been Matherin. I'm not going to say I would have preferred someone else, but I would have much rather it not been Matherin because I know how much that's going to end up hurting us. I know it will.
Oh, it's for sure going to hurt us. This is going to be I believe it's going to be like that Danny Granger situation where
Well, we
Danny
can't say
Granger.
Danny Granger hurt us because Danny Granger was hurt himself. And after he left, he was never
Oh, hold
Indiana
on.
Danny.
But the reason it hurt the Pacers when they made that trade, well, number one, Evan Turner was good for one game, and he was trash the rest of the season, even in the playoffs. But number two, Danny Granger kept the locker room together. The locker room fell apart, and that led to the Pacers being a number one seed that didn't look like a number one seed. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, what are we? You know what I'm saying? What do we get?
Nah, I feel you. But we can quickly.
I don't even know if he's was worth all of that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, go ahead.
Nah, but we can quickly go over some acquisitions and some losses of some squads of most of the squads. So The Atlanta Hawks, they ended up bringing in Jonathan Kuminga, Buddy Hill, Gabe Vincent, Jock Landale, and Duop Reef. They ended up getting rid of Kristaps, Luke Kennard, and I ain't even gonna try to say that last Vit. They ended up bringing in. I mean, they ended up getting rid of Vit. Um, I would say that, obviously the acquisition of Jonathan Kuminga and Buddy Hill definitely is going to be able to help their squad. I feel like they still have to identify what their identity is. Obviously making a big move, getting rid of Trey Young, and they had seen some success without him playing, but they still just have to establish who they are, their style of play, and everything like that, in my opinion, with this new squad. Then we seen obviously the Boston Celtics. We talked about them for a second. They brought in Vucevic, got rid of Anthony Simons and Josh Minot. We already pretty much commented on that one. Brooklyn Nets brought in Ochai Agbaji, Hunter Tyson, and Josh Minot. All they lost was picks and cash. Charlotte Hornets ended up bringing in Kobe White, Malachi Branham, and then they ended up losing Colin Sexton. Obviously, I think with the trajectory that the Hornets have been on as of late, pickup of Kobe White is huge. You get what I'm saying? It's definitely going to help the team continue to flow when LaMelo's off the court. I'm not sure if you wanted to add anything on that.
Yeah, I know a few Charlotte Hornets fans that are a little bit upset over losing Colin.
They're upset. I think it's a win picking up Kobe White though. I think that Kobe White is definitely good enough to be a starting point guard in this league, and having him come off your bench is just gonna be, crazy impactful.
I hear you. Some of them don't agree, but in due time.
Yeah, time will tell. Time will tell. Then Chicago Bulls. We spoke a little bit about them earlier. They brought in Jaden Ivey, Colin Sexton, Anthony Simons, Rob Dillingham, Nick Richards, and Gershon Yabusele. They ended up losing Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu, Herter, sorry, Kevin Herter, Dario Saric, Ushman Jiang, Nikola Vucevic, and Emmanuel Miller. Like I said earlier, I just feel like they wanted some guys, some more ISO type of guys, like Jaden Ivey, Colin Sexton, and just guys that could put it in the ball in the whole bottom, like that can create for themselves, basically. I don't know why I'm trying to.
That's a lot of guard movement, man.
Yeah,
that's a lot of guards, bro. That's a lot of guards.
and they may have had the steal of the trade deadline in getting Rob Dillingham. Maybe they finally give him the opportunity, and he's able to boom, have a great improvement that most people do see him having. Then quickly,
I would like to see Spurs.
You want to see him on the Spurs?
Hot take.
They already got too much guard play over there. Where does he fit in? They got Fox, Castle, Harper, Vassell. Like, where does he fit in on the guard with the guards?
Give Vassell out of there.
Even still, it doesn't offer him enough opportunity, I don't feel like. It'll offer him more opportunity than he was getting in Minnesota, but I still don't think it's enough opportunity for him.
I don't know. It's just something I like to see.
No, I'm not saying I definitely want to see the Spurs succeed. Definitely want to see them succeed. Just mainly because they hate the Thunder so much. I love it. But then the Cavs, we seen them bring in James Harden, Dennis Schroeder, Keon Ellis, and Emmanuel Miller. They ended up losing Darius Garland, DeAndre Hunter, and Lonzo Ball. We already talked about them. I think that they, made some moves. Obviously, another sneaky pickup is that Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder is definitely a great player in this league. Definitely can, come in and be impactful for almost any team, as we've seen. What is he on? This is the 11th or 12th team? So, yeah, we know that he can come in and be impactful for almost any team. But next, we got the Dallas Mavericks bringing in Chris Middleton, A.J. Johnson, Tyus Jones, and Marvin Bagley. They lose Anthony Davis, Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, and Dante Exum. Then the Denver Nuggets did not bring anything in, but they end up losing Hunter Tyson. The Detroit Pistons bring in Kevin Herter and Dario Saric. They lose Jaden Ivey. The Golden State Warriors. This was considered a pretty big move. They ended up bringing in Kristaps Porzingis. Now, does he make him a championship team? No. They're still pretty much wasting Stephen Curry's championship window as it's rapidly shutting. But they did something. They got rid of Buddy Hield, Jonathan Kuminga, and Trace Jackson Davis. I think that's the best part, is that Jonathan Kuminga is finally free. Rockets didn't do anything. We already talked about the Pacers pickups and Zubac and Kobe Brown. They got the wrong Kobe. And then Benedict Mathurin and Isaiah Jackson leaving. Shout out Isaiah Jackson. It was time for you to go. The Los Angeles Clippers, as we already mentioned, brought in Darius Garland, Benedict Mathurin, Isaiah Jackson, lost Zubac, Harden, and Kobe Brown. A lot of people are saying that they're the biggest winners. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. You can't be the biggest winner and you picked up Isaiah Jackson. You can't be the biggest winner and you pick up Isaiah Jackson.
Hey man, if I get Benedict Mathurin, I'll take Isaiah Jackson.
Nah, I'm sorry. I would have gave you a pick to keep. I would have told you keep a pick and keep Isaiah Jackson. Nah. Then the Lakers bring in Luke Kennard, lose Gabe Vincent. Definitely think they upgraded with that. Memphis Grizzlies. This is a weird one. Eric Gordon to Memphis. That is a weird one. That just does not seem like a jersey he's supposed to be in. Then they get Kyle Anderson, Walter Clayton Jr., and Georges Niang. They acquire Jaren Jackson, or they lose Jaren Jackson, Jock Landale, John Carchart, and Vince Williams. Oh, and they also acquired Taylor Hendricks, who's down there on the lower page. Miami Heat didn't make any moves. Milwaukee Bucks brought in Ousmane Dieng and Nigel Hayes Davis. They lose Cole Anthony and Amir Coffey. I think the Bucks should be banned because they didn't make the trade that we all wanted them to. Like, I'm really tired of the Bucks and this Giannis stuff. Like, at this point, just trade the man. Genuinely, just trade him. But on to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Ayo Dosunmu and Julian Phillips were their pickups. Rob Dillingham and Leonard Miller were their losses. For the Pelicans, they swapped Dalen Terry for Jose Alvarado. I don't think that was the exact trade, but those were their pickup and loss. Then the New York Knicks picked up Jose Alvarado, and they lost Dalen Terry. The Thunder with the weird move, picking up Jared McCain. I don't really understand how he fits them at all.
He'll find a way.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure they will, but it didn't. Seeing the news, it didn't make much sense to me at all. The only way that he's fitting is in the locker room with all them TikTok dances and all that. Outside of that, I don't know what else he could provide.
Jalen Williams, they'll go along just fine.
That's what I'm saying. Being there painting their nails at halftime and stuff. The Orlando Magic end up losing Tyus Jones. 76ers lose Jared McCain. Phoenix Suns pick up Cole Anthony and Amir Coffey. They drop Nick Richards and Nigel Hayes Davis. Portland picks up that Vit dude I was telling you about. I don't know. I ain't gonna try the last name. And they lose Duop Reef. Sacramento Kings with a low-key quiet pickup of DeAndre Hunter. They end up losing Dennis Schroeder, Keon Ellis, and Dario Saric. Spurs didn't make any moves. The Toronto Raptors picked up Trace Jackson Davis and Chris Paul. Shams came on there and broke everybody's heart when they were reacting to that Chris Paul's trade. Everybody like, yeah, man, we happy Chris Paul gonna be able to play again. And Shams come on 2 minutes later. Well, actually, they're most likely gonna waive him. They told him not to report. I'm like, damn, Shams, damn. And then they lose Ochai Agbaji. Last two, Jaren Jackson Jr., Jock Landale, John Conchar, and Vince Williams go to Utah. They end up losing Walter Clayton Jr., Kyle Anderson, Georges Niang, and Taylor Hendricks. And then last but not least, the Wizards end up bringing in Anthony Davis, Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, and Dante Exum. They end up losing Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, Marvin Bagley, and Malachi Branham. And those were every team's acquisitions and losses through this trade deadline. Give Ice a sec. Now, with these moves, do you think that, who you seen winning the championship changed it all? Or who you like maybe your top three teams that you think are gonna win it this season changed it all?
Nah, but AD to the Wizards, that's funny.
Oh man, they traded Luca for Chris Middleton and 3 picks.
God, that is funny.
Like if we could have got Luca, I would have been okay giving up Matherin and 2 picks.
Oh my God, dog. AD to the Wizards is fried, bro.
Nah, for real.
Oh, that is funny, man.
Nico
Ooh,
Harrison is still catching backlash, even after getting fired.
it's nasty work, man.
Even after getting fired. You can't even, but the thing is, you can't even blame Nico for this. Nico ain't trade AD. Nico ain't bring in Chris Middleton. You can't blame Nico for that.
That's nasty work, man. That's oh my gosh. That's freaking hilarious, dude.
No, for real.
AD to the Wizards. That is something I never thought I would see in my life.
Hey, they say that this is not. They not shooting for nothing this year. They planning for next year.
Man, he might as well retire, dog. That's
Okay,
that trade.
but now that the trade deadline has passed, who are your top 3 teams that you think can win the championship this year?
Both conferences or just all together?
Just all together, because we know the week is a little bit. I mean, the East is a little bit weak this year, so.
Give me the Thunder. Dang, I don't know if I want to say the Nuggets anymore. I mean, the Pistons look good, but I don't really know.
I don't even
So
think that. I think they'll struggle to make it out the East, and I'm not saying that they not the best team in the East right now. I'm just saying they still lack the playoff experience.
Yeah. So, man, I'll just say, I know you said 3, but I'll just say still go with Knicks, Celtics, or I'll go with the Spurs. I don't know, man. Nah, they kind of inexperienced. So I'll just
Yeah,
say,
that's the hard part about the Spurs. I definitely think they can be successful, but they just don't have the experience in the postseason either.
yeah.
You're not giving
So
a
I mean,
nod to the Cavs?
to the Cavs, I want to, but I don't know. It's like it's something. I don't know. It's something weird that's making me just not put them there. Like they in that next tier right below it. But
No, for sure. I think coming out the East, it'll either be the Pistons, the Knicks, or the Cavs. The Celtics have looked good, but I don't think they have the strength. Out the West, I think it'll either be the Thunder. I'll give it to the Spurs, even though, like I said, they don't have the experience. So I'm not saying that this is a championship or bust year by any means. I'm just saying they could. I think they have a chance. And then last, I don't think that the Rockets could do it. I don't. Honestly, yeah, I would have to probably say the Nuggets. Just because I honestly don't feel like the Nuggets are giving 100% right now. I feel like they're smart enough not to give 100% right now. And I mean, who knows if Aaron Gordon doesn't get injured, Pacers may have played them in the finals. And honestly, you know what's crazy? I just realized we have not mentioned the team that went to the Western Conference Finals for the past 2 years.
talking about Minnesota.
You don't think that they could finally make it out this year?
I don't know. You know, it's always up in the air with them. You know what I'm saying? You never know the direction they going, what they trying to do, they trying to accomplish. So
No, for
I mean, we'll
sure.
see.
You know, I'm also not just Giannis. I'm also surprised that Cat didn't get traded at the deadline because there was a lot of talk surrounding Cat, especially because you know the Knicks hadn't been performing as well as of late. That's another guy I'm surprised it didn't move. But the Bucks need to be banned for not trading Giannis. With that being said, we gonna hit the outro. All right, y'all. That's gonna wrap it up for this episode of the 3829 podcast. If you did enjoy it, make sure you leave it a like, comment, and a subscribe on it. Share it with a friend that you think that would enjoy the content. And with that being said, I'm gonna let y'all holla at Ice one time.
Well, 3829 family, that'll do it for this episode. Did you like what you see? If so, be sure to like the video and comment what you want to see next. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any more posts. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.